Welcome back. I'm very delighted today to have with me Arush Sheikh, a filmmaker, producer, and also an organizer of major events in our community and, of course, mainstream community. Welcome to the show, Arush.
Thank you very much.
Well, the reason why we have Arush with us today is what I mentioned earlier. Inside Islam documentary is being launched and presented by Faith of Life Network, our organization, and also Shake It Entertainment, which is of course your organization. And this is of course a premiere. And before we talk a little bit about the premiere, tell us a little bit about what you do usually.
Absolutely.
Just an idea to our viewers, and then of course we'll talk about what we're here for.
Absolutely. So you said it right. I mean, producing some films right now, but on top of that, producing events as well. People don't realize that you can actually produce an event. So we do work on massive events, mainstream here as well, and this is just one example of it inside Islam.
Indeed, where you're for events, if they're not produced well, it's like making an event is like making a movie by itself.
Absolutely.
And definitely needs professional people like yourself. Now, going back to the same thing, Islam, of course, on the website in www.insideislam.ca, we've been running actually the teaser for quite some time now, a few months, and people are asking question, what is this inside Islam? And it's like sometimes, like you remember today we talk about assumption and perception, and bringing the inside of Islam, meaning not really Islam the religion, but inside Islam, how it's lived among the Muslims. And of course we had people representing the organizers, of course the producers of the documentary.
Right.
Why do you think, and both of us, of course, our organization are the organizers, what do you think people should go and watch it?
Well, you know what, you said something really important there when you said inside Islam, and why is it called inside Islam? So I'm just going to touch on that first. Inside Islam, you're absolutely right. We're talking about inside the feelings of 1 billion Muslims, more than 1 billion. I mean, there's 1.57, 1.6
Exactly.
billion. So, you know, yes, it's probably the largest religion right now. And so you're talking about inside their feelings of Islam. So the main, you can see that our tagline on this film is skip the pundits, ask the people, which is very important. Why should people see this film? This is an excellent way for you to get a better understanding, not of just the religion, but to understand that what you mentioned earlier, assumptions and perspectives of people, this plays a key role. So when you come to watch something like this, you're going to walk out saying, okay, well, at least I'm not going to stereotype, at least I'm not going to assume that the general public, the general Muslim population acts a certain way. We can't look at one individual and say, you know what, this guy did something wrong, and hence the entire population is wrong.
You saw now, I was with an interview here on national television, asking me about this video that was released. I mean, or any video, whenever something happens, they come to us and say, you know what, you guys, Faith of Life Network, you guys would like your comment. I'm already making a statement, Islam is a faith of life, so anything that threatens life is definitely denounced.
Yes.
So you see, we'll go back to assumption and perception. And you're a person who deals with the media. How do we overcome that?
That's a tough one. I mean, everything is within yourself. So if you can make it a point not to judge a person by, you know, they say don't judge a book by its cover. And that's something key. When you teach that to your kids while they're growing up, if that's something that everyone as an individual can understand and actually you know, show the public that I'm actually using that philosophy, then hopefully we can have a better world anyway. The other thing that we have to do is, as individuals, the people that are actually acting upon the religion and using the name of religion for their actions, that's incorrect as well. So as a human being, you should be looking at yourself and saying, okay, well, what kind of characteristics should I have, and how should I be treating my neighbors, how should I be treating my friends, how should I treat my co-workers? Because that reflects not just on your religion, your race, everything.
But Arush, you know, we've been saying this all the time, we hear all the time this, our Imams, all of us say don't judge the book by the cover, blah, 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 but in reality, Tom and Dick and Harry and John and Jennifer and Muhammad and Fatima, they live with people, they see things, they're human beings. If we talk about American or Canadian and you see someone says, I wish your death, and I will blow you up. This is what they hear. Forget now whether it's true or not, whether it's made up or not, conspiracy theories. I don't want to talk about that. I'm talking about a regular person sitting in his house, watching television. All he hears is negative. I'll give you an example. I just came from Middle East. And I told the people, and Jazeera there, and many people say, okay, if you open Jazeera Network or CNN or anything,
Yeah.
blood in this country, in this country, in this country, the common thread between all these countries, they're Muslim countries. Let's talk about it. I mean, on national television now, and people know. We are Muslims, we live in Canada, we're free to worship and everything, we're happy, thanks God. But also we're Canadians.
Absolutely.
And if Canada is, something happens to Canada, we should speak up and say this is wrong. It doesn't matter, because religion, of course, terrorism or crime has no religion, that
Right.
period. Because there is no religion that says, no religion that says go and kill
Oh, absolutely.
innocent people, unless the religion has been manipulated or changed or
Yeah.
falsified. But the religion, as we understand from God, God is good and He's all the time good, and this is the problem: perception and assumption. How do you overcome it? I like what we're doing, and I'm not saying this to promote neither organization, but I'm trying to say why, and if you can tell our viewers where do you see the success? We have shown, actually we premiered the Inside Islam in
Washington.
Washington, of course.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's really important, because what we see happening, media plays a really big role in this. You just mentioned, Al Jazeera, it shows all the stuff, everything is blood, 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 war, everything like that. And media does play a big role. So one of the things that we were trying to accomplish here is, let's change the way media thinks, of course, because that's pretty important. If media has the right perception and they're not just targeting the Muslim community or whichever community, whatever religion it is, that will help the situation in general. Now, as organizers of something like this, we support events like this because this is key for Canadians, living as Canadians. We want Canadian population to come out and see, okay, this is what the film is about. You don't have to be Muslim to come to a show called Inside Islam. People they hear the name Inside Islam, what a billion Muslims really think, and they say, well, I'm Christian or I'm Jewish, why should I come to this? It's not about that. It's about coming, getting your perspective straight, and don't assume.
We said it right, because you see this as the key. Or if someone who's not a Muslim, and I invited, and you invited a lot of non-Muslims, and they will attend with us, our friends and
Yes.
clergy members, leaders, community leaders, politicians, they have to know, because 1.57, according to the last census, you said the right number, 1.57 are Muslim. So in every 5 people there is one who is Muslim.
Yeah.
Unless you know what they think and what they believe, it's then how are you going to live? How are you going to do business? How are you going to trade? Muslims are everywhere in the world now. Unfortunately again, they do not stand for any of this garbage that we see these days.
Yeah.
Now media they report events, and events are events.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, people see, and people are more interested about what threatens their life, what shakes the society, and terrorism does shake the society big
Yeah.
time. And after September 11, after London 7/7, after what happened in the world, people aren't going to take it lightly.
Yeah.
So if in this country we speak up as Muslims and speak up with loud voices, whether through our television shows, through what you're doing, through your filmmaking, production, also this Inside Islam premiering, opening this big, as you said it rightly, opening at the Queen Elizabeth Theatre, one of the prestigious places, and people come and watch and discuss. We will have panelists.
We will have panelists there as well. And the whole point of having that panel discussion, including a question and answer session, is so that people can talk freely. You're coming into an environment where no one's going to judge you by what you ask. Everything's written on paper. It's going to go straight to a moderator. We want people to ask questions, say, well, okay, tell us a little bit more about this poll. How accurate is it? Or is that really what the perception is? Is that really what Muslims think? I mean, where did you get the results from? And we want people to ask these questions because we need them to have a better understanding and feel like they walked out saying, okay, I've actually accomplished something. I know something about this now myself. And that's what we're hoping for.